not talking about something that takes long, like a lot of time. I was in Gracie 2 weeks, and every day I was on the phone with them trying to convince them. They were ready to roll. It was just, once they seen how the condition was, and Gracie is such a small town. That's the other thing. If I was in Hopkinsville, it's cool, but hell, I can't go to Hopkinsville, everything is cheap there. So they're not gonna fund that, because they ain't got to see this is the hood, they already know. You can put a public record on who owned the house. You know what I'm saying? That's how deep they go. We see who owned this house, we know, okay, Tanisha, Jasmine, right? So they let that ride. Business credit operates the same as personal credit. There's no true secret or perfect way to build, but there are variations. I know brother's not here no more, but he asked about the 30s. The 30s, the 60s, the 90s, the credit cards, the loans, the lines of credit. I'm gonna be honest and tell you like this. If you're doing tax returns, and then you do an application, depending on what you do, spruce up the income. Take straight up. If you know you only claim 20 on your taxes, but you're trying to get an American Express, they're not giving you nothing making over 20 grand. Or they would, but it'd be a small limit. We're talking about American Express. We know how we all feel about American Express. Okay, that's one of the top tier banks. So in order to get top tier money, you gotta make top tier money. Now if they ask you and you respond, that's one thing. Because you know what they're gonna ask for if you finesse. I'm fine with it, holler at me, I'll get that to you. I ain't gonna lie, dude, I did that for most of my big limit cards. Oh yeah, I made $1 million. Oh, it was great, what's your tax return? Oh, I'm glad you asked. And so, they can't stop it. They can't stop it. Like, all they're gonna ask you is to show it. That's all they're gonna ask. Can you show it on this and this? Bank statement, tax return, or either or, can you show it? Yeah, all right, oh, you're approved. Especially if your credit's already there. Most of the time when you got the credit, they hold it up for verification because of the money you said you made. That's the same thing you would do. So you think like, yeah, I ain't gonna approve it. No, I just wanted to make sure you wouldn't cap it. And then you still cap, and you get it, and I mean, it is what it is. I mean, listen, if I was wanting to be politically correct and know I was helping my own people, then wouldn't nobody get nothing. We gotta wiggle when we need to, but don't mess up after you done wiggle. Now I got you 20 grand with the American Express. You at 95% already. Damn, you got the car last week. Man, I had grand to buy. What happened before you got the car then? What was you doing? You just making ends meet? Like, so that's the piece that it's a struggle with the people, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a struggle, but it's like you open the door for people that's been waiting, and they get in and don't do right. You know, I dislike it. They get in and don't do right. It ain't that they ain't humble, it's just you get a taste of that success and you want the whole cake, and it don't work like that. Especially with a bank like that, American Express, you do right. Come on, man, some of us work our whole lives to get them cards. You know, I'm just fortunate enough to be one that has 2 of those cards. So it's like, I know how to teach a person to get to it. The LLC side, and both of my American Expresses are business. So I know exactly how to get you it. All right, you get your personal right, do some trade lines, then go apply. The number one thing American Express, I'll say this too, number one thing American Express looks for is no collection. If you got no collection, they'll approve you out the gate. Most people don't know that though. Or because most people they've never had a point where they didn't have them at all. The ultimate key is to have more than satisfactory personal credit. The door is open this way. Making your way in is a lot easier, trust me. I just told you. It could be somebody sitting here right now with no collection, no charge off. They might not have an American Express. Depending on what their score is and the type of card they apply for, they're gonna automatically get approved. Then you have something I call an inquiry hack. So when I was applying for American Express, I was nervous. I'm like, damn, I'm a black man, about to get this American Express. I'm talking about one of the real business ones. I'm like, damn. So they approved it. And then I'm like, oh man, I'm giving credit. Let me try something. Now when they apply for the next card, that's the twin of that one, like the platinum and gold. Approved. All right, there. So I know now when I'm teaching and talking to people, American Express has this thing where when they approve you, you get approved everything. But not literally everything, but like, as it pertains to whatever the qualifications are for the card. They gave me the gold, they gave me the platinum. I went for there's a burgundy one, I think, a burgundy one, I forgot what it's called. They didn't give me that one because they seen, like imagine if I had 0 inquiries and did that, I'd have 6 American Express. But the minute they denied me for the burgundy, I'm like, oh, it ain't for credit, it's probably because they seen I had too many inquiries. What up, bro? So that's the important piece, of that, like, and I call that inquiry hack. So you do that, and it's people out there, and I'm sorry I can't recall it, it's like you could literally go in there at certain times of the night and they'll approve it. You'd have to get back with me on that because I left that back in 3-4 years ago, but it is true. Like certain days and certain times, when you do that little trick, they'll approve every last one of them. pending verification if you put high enough income. But we're talking business. On my side, I can't put a little bit of income. I said if business does well, they'll give that. And those cards that I'm talking about, y'all know the difference between a purchasing power card and a limit card? Yeah, so a purchasing power card, you have to evaluate what your power is. So like those cards I got, when I first got them, I was in the app too, putting it too. Yeah, if I spend 25, can I get it there? Yeah. If I spend 25, can I get it? Yeah. Now what happened was I let them sit in my wallet. They told this to me, as a black man. So I'm like, 8 months passed. God damn, I gotta use these, I didn't use them. I go to swipe something for maybe $200 decline. Now, hold on now, these are mine, ain't they? Got my name on it. And what happened was, when you, it's weird to hear that, but it's like when you don't use them, and it's a purchasing power card, it decreases the purchasing power. So they're like, well, Mr. Jackson, man, I'm telling you now. I said, man, I was approved for $25,000, y'all tripping. Like, well, looks like you got the card about 9 months ago. I'm like, damn, you right, can't tell me wrong. I'm like, man, I told myself I was gonna use it, but I just let them know why. He's like, well, I tell you what, man, you got a limit now. They kept denying like the purchase. And I think I might have went out to a bar. I mean, that's embarrassing. You know, they bring you a little tray, put your card on it. She done brought the tray back. She didn't bring the receipt. So I'm like, oh, come on, man. She done brought the tray back. I'm like, I'm trying to look at it like she ain't looking at me. You know what I'm saying? She's like, you got another card? I'm like, hell yeah, I got a lot of cards. But what's wrong with that one? You know what I'm saying? We don't do for some reason. I'm like, man, you know, she's like, I know I've been working hard to get that type of card. I said, I know, I've been here, I can't flex now, I'm not looking bad. Y'all done brought it back, no receipt, so instantly get an email. That's how American Express roll. They're not gonna play no games with you. So I read it and it was like, it wasn't authorized, so I had to let them out right there. Then I look and I'm like, hold on, they got a limit on it, $4,000, oh no, that's 21,000 too short. See what's going on out here. And that's when I got that phone call, but nonetheless, if you got a purchasing power card, because American Express is fine, you're fond of them, like, that's one bank. I think Citi has one, but American Express definitely. Because that gold and platinum, it starts out like that, unless you do personal, which it comes with a limit in most cases that I've seen. But if you're doing business, it's purchasing power as it pertains to the industry you tell them you do. Of course, y'all know I didn't tell them I did taxes and credit, I told them I did construction. So, I told them I built houses. So, so they gave it to me, but that's just a side note for y'all. I didn't know it. I just left it in my wallet. Thought it was a good token. I got me a car that ain't flashy, job. And then now I lost $42,000 worth of creditability. And which I think anybody in here can do a lot with $42,000, right? So, learning thing for y'all. Because if you get to that point where you remove, where you don't have no collection and charge off, and you have a business, you need to go get that platinum and gold. It's an ugly, what's that thing called? The payment, the annual payment. The annual payment was ugly as hell. The gold, I think, was like $700. And platinum was like $300, $400. But, at that point, you don't care, because if you've got a purchasing power card, you work your way up to where it's almost that black one, which comes with no limit. So, credit cards, loans, and auto loans, lines of credit, mortgages, et cetera. Business funding is a lot easier to receive when your tax docs align with your business bank account and also with business credit. Typically, a business owner can ask to borrow twice as much as their total income. I said typically, but you don't have to make what you're asking for. You don't have to make half. That's predicated on your debt. If you got a lot of debt, but your credit's good, then it'll be less than, and it'll help you to make maybe half. But if you don't have a lot of debt, because that's all it is, just like buying a home is DTI, same thing with credit. Same thing with credit. So if you don't have a lot of debt, and you need a big amount, but you only make, you might need a meal, you make 100, 200, you thinking it's so far off, I won't be able. That's not true. What does your credit look like? You been to school, you got any other, no, you just got an auto loan there, how much car, 25? Oh yeah. So you paying $300, $400 a month, you make 100, you buy that by 12, okay, so you running between 8 and 9, and you don't pay for $300, $400, I mean, you got $7,000 to play with. This payment for this meal might be, depending on the term, you see what I'm saying? Depending on the term, they may give it to you 20 years or whatever. That's how they determine that. But some people don't understand that part, and they'll work their whole life to get a salary of $500,000. They done 15 years at the job. They done missed all them opportunities because they didn't understand how DTI works. Our parents, most of our parents in here did that. Well, not even asking for the money part, they just worked their whole life. And so it's just understanding how to leverage and borrow when you got the credit. It makes more sense to not know it when you don't have the credit. So that's what that part is about. This isn't an opinion, this is just fact. And looking at your debt. Do you make enough to cover this payment we need you to make? That's why buying a home for people is a major thing. For us, when you look at it, when they say you can only give you this, and they be shocked, man, I make $100,000, man, they told me they don't give me $200 to buy a house. Yeah, I mean, you got 6 auto loans, you got 10 student loans, 7 credit cards. All they did was take that and say you're over 40%, because most cases for the DTI, you're gonna be under 40%. That's just a national thing. So if you're under 40%, they'll approve you for that house. You're over 80%. That's why you can't give the $200,000. So people look at what they make and think, I could afford it. No, it's what you make a month, what you pay out a month. Any mortgage lender that know their stuff is gonna tell you that. It's very easy to explain. And then they tell you what, you gotta, instead of saying and teaching you taxes, because they may or may not know it, because they'll say, pay this off. And that's my homie right there, I've known Shonda forever. She had that situation happen. Like I said, I don't tell everybody COVID, but she had a situation happen where somebody would tell her to pay off an auto loan. They got thousands and thousands of dollars left when you could just pay down your credit cards and the score go up. Nothing trumps that. Remember, those don't close, so you'll never get more points for something that closed than something that don't. This is common sense for somebody that deals with credit. So I'm gonna just tell her, on top of the, I'm just making up a scenario. She might need 15 grand to close, but her auto loan got 9 grand left. She might have 35% utilization on her car. The mortgage lender gonna tell her, yeah, pay the car off, you'll be good to go. Damn, $9,000 on top of the 15. I don't owe but 35% on my cars. I'm gonna get 50 points from paying that off. So you see what I'm saying? And the DTI is calculated the same way. See, that auto don't change. When I pay it off, you tell me to pay it off because I don't have that payment no more, but it wasn't but $300-400. So that's how you're able to check with a person who understand what they're telling you. The cards combined was less than that, but my score go up. You gotta remember when you're trying to get a home loan, you gotta qualify for that program. Whichever loan or whatever you're doing. So I'm able to not sit back and just want to see them be wrong, I'm just educated. And it ain't easy to say, I gotta bring 15, it was hard to get that. And you want to pay another $9? Like, so just 24 to the table, and then I still might not be able, once they get to underwriters. I'm still talking to a mortgage lender. You gotta remember, underwriters gonna go through your fine-tooth comb. They trying to find everything. Your taxes didn't line up, where's your pay stub? They ain't up to date. So the lender is just someone that tells you, I can get your stuff ran and see what you qualify for. And so if you've never bought a home, that's the fun part. The realtor is changed. Back in the day, you could ride around, look at the property and say, I like that one. That's not how it goes now. You gotta get pre-approved. And so in order for the mortgage lender to pre-approve you, they gotta have all that information. But that's the last person you're gonna worry about. They on your side. The underwriters don't really give a shit if you get it or not. They don't care. They're just gonna go through that fine tooth. But if everything lines up and you prepared, it's less of a headache. Trust me, it's less of a headache, man. If you know your taxes are done right, put the business on there right, right business tax dollars. You know you paid your cards down to the percentage you need. The only thing they can tell you is to pay down that 25%, which might only be $1 grand or $2 grand. If you came to them with that 75% used, now you got that on top of the down payment. And all they gonna tell you is like you told my homie, pay your car off. Like, bro, I'm $20,000 on this car. So I'm not ready. That's what you're saying. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not ready to buy. Because who just tells somebody to pay off $20,000? And I just told you it was hard to give you 10. And you see what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna go get another 20 from somewhere. And my cards at that time, if you talking and that person may have maxed out card, like how am I gonna get all this money that you already see I ain't got? And then you gotta look at yourself because at that point I classify them as an idiot and you damn near on the same line as them. You sit there and entertain it. So it's just being prepared. Questions on that? I'm watching you do it. Wait now. Real estate, buying a home, anybody, who trying to buy a home? I'm putting people in homes. You trying to buy a home? Who else trying to? So just one person. That's a damn shame. I thought it was only 3 or 4 people said they bought a house. Can't be scared about it. Who want to buy a home? Why not right now? No, I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying, I want to hear, I'm a question guy.
I'm trying to get my personal part right.
Okay, that's a great answer. So it ain't right, I'm assuming, if you want to get it right.
I mean, it ain't wrong, but it ain't where it needs
Huh?
to
You know what that is? That's just money. You got the credit, that ain't nothing but money, especially if you got one. You gotta wait a year at least. They ain't told you that already. After that, it's game time. I know Sean, you already know we locked in. Anybody else trying to buy a home? Trying to buy one, dog? We spoke about that some. I think it's tax time, but credit and money. As it pertains to what you want. I'm in here dealing with black folks. Because there be some people that work at Burger King as a GM and swear they want to be insane, though. It's not gonna happen. Not 400,000. No ma'am. And I gotta be honest. I see your stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm dealing with you taxes wise, credit wise. Like, you gotta be real. And I say realistic because of this. Ain't nothing wrong with imagining. I wanted my first house to be in San Jose because I lived so far away from that. That lifestyle was so intriguing to someone that ain't got a lot. But hell, I don't care now because it's like Clarksville didn't change where nice homes are everywhere. Everywhere. And so for me, I can settle for just being nowhere near the hood. Not because I don't want to be, but just because I know what it's like. So for me, that's enough. But if you think you're going to be the general manager of Burger King making $60 a year, you're not about to be in San Jose. Hell, aside from that, they ain't even going to want you over there. Depending on what part you're in. So, but it's just the numbers and credit. I want people to know DTI. I mean, that's all that is. That's all them. I'm not taking nothing away from mortgage lenders making like their job easy. I'm just saying this is how they figure it out. They look at your credit. They say this is what you pay a monthly combined. This is what you make. This is under 40%. You're good. But for that home that you want, it's a little outside of your range. The only thing that trumps that is saying, I'm gonna bring 50,000 to the down payment then. Now you can get it, but who's gonna do that? So most of us are looking for down payment assistance, or we don't want to put anything significant down. So whenever you're ready, we'll sit down. And you said you self-employed all the way? Oh yeah, ain't no little razzle dazzle. LLC, you by yourself? In the LLC? Got a partner? In the LLC, you got a partner or you by yourself? Oh yeah, ain't no but Schedule C. You already doing that?
What, Schedule C?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you already then. You just report the money. That's all. I mean, I don't know your situation, and I hope to hear from you if you need help, but yeah, ain't nothing but just reporting income. The right way though, like, cause I'm just like, a tax preparer, like, I'm telling you, man, I went through with I do my own taxes. They knew that, know I have a tax bill, and they still trying to give me hell. Like, dude, I'm not listening to y'all, man, I do this. Like, that's how I know the underwriters can sometimes be against you. Not only that, they can be super non-traditional. Like, they just, you don't look the way we're used to. Okay, that ain't got shit to do with me. Like, I know how to do. You dealing with somebody that got their taxes prepared somewhere. I do my own. You know how bad I feel if I messed up my own taxes? Like, come on, man. So if you're doing that Schedule C, you're doing the Schedule C, though, right? Yeah, that's just putting the money down. And I know most of the time if you don't have, especially if you don't have children, you scared to put down anything more than 20,000. I'm all right, look at it. All right, look, I know the game. Listen, that's why they love me at tax time. I know what's going on over here. I already know you ain't got no kid. You ain't trying to put you 19. And you can't do nothing with that. No, but that also comes down to the person preparing your taxes, knowing certain credits and things of that nature. If you self-employed, 2 years ago they brought that sick leave credit out. You could have been at a house. Because I'm speaking just from my perspective because I deal with credit. So you could have been at a house. Throw that sick leave on there, kids or not. We take whatever chance we can get to claim more income because it ain't gonna do nothing. But even if you don't get that house, you still get more money to run the business. But man, you won't believe how so many people are trapped when they talk to me. That right there, they do something that have kids. I told you they want that 12 grand. 3 kids, you don't want no more than 20 on taxes. Okay? Well, you go get you a shoebox. That's about it. Anybody else trying to buy a home? Boy, okay. We'll sit down, brother. Take care of you. If y'all are, I will say this though. Kevin Brace is my cousin, man. I love Cuz, man. His story is beautiful. Beautiful story. Like, he's part of me and most of my guys, my circle, made it out of not the best environments and then are doing well. So you gotta support people like that, man. Like, most people don't know his story because Kevin put on glasses, little shirt, and some moccasins. You know what I'm saying? So he ain't fooling nobody, dude. You know what I'm saying? We ain't fooling nobody, cuz. But we black here, so at the end of the day, you should see that and know that. But Kevin, man, he good people, man. And I always push, not just because we cousins, but it's not easy to come from, being around stuff that ain't right and then never getting in trouble. That's me. I've never gotten in trouble. So, you support, and we support people like that. you know, it's envy that comes with it too, but you support people like that. So if y'all ever looking for a realtor, Kevin Bracey is who I'm gonna facilitate to you. And Sheldon Huber, that's another one, turned his life around from doing what he was doing, and now he's one of the top realtors with, I forgot who he works for. But y'all probably see him, he calls himself the real estate hitman. But he's good people too, he turned his life around. So those guys I support. Even if they didn't have to turn around but stayed out of trouble, I'm gonna support them too. But as far as mortgage lenders, I got one homegirl, Whitney Bazemore, I work with. But I already told y'all, if you go through a mortgage lender, I ain't, again, nothing against them. They're gonna, gonna have something on top. And then if you go through your bank, that's what I would tell a person. If they're trying to buy a house, go through your bank first. Try your bank first, because they're gonna make concessions to discounts, because you already deal with them. I can't tell you what the discount will be, but they're gonna give you one. That's automatic. Like it's almost law for them to give you one. Plus, once they see you trying to apply to get a mortgage, they're gonna try to, they don't do your head, because you already deal with them, so. That's my piece of the knowledge. And I bought my home through Rocket Mortgage, actually, so it's actually pretty funny. But that took 21 days. 21 days, well, actually 22. So it was, I already knew the plan. Like, I already did. And I didn't like Navy's a good bank, but there was a mistake on the application. So that's why I started learning. I started learning, just because I go deal with someone, it don't mean they didn't know what they're doing. She couldn't even read my application right. We didn't put you as self-employed. Ain't nothing on my taxes but self-employment. So what did you put on there? No income. She was on the phone quiet. How you messed that up? It's all self-employed. So if you didn't put that, then what did you put? I didn't give you a W-2. So, you know what I'm saying? When I see that type of experience, I don't get upset. I'm just like, okay, I'll learn. All right, then I can't deal with y'all. Or at least not with her. So, and I don't want to take my chances. So, I dealt with US and that was fine, but the interest was really high at that time. So then I just stopped caring and said, all right, I don't care about the interest, I'll just go ahead and buy. Please don't get caught up on that, because you hear people talking, in our community for sure. It's high right now. I mean, never bought no house, don't know about what's high, what's low. It's high right now. And they say interest high. Old folks talk for sure. It's high right now. It ain't gonna never not be like, it go up, go down. Like, bro, the way they build in Clarksville, dude, you can't, I'm not saying rush, but you think you're gonna wait on the home you want. I lost 3 homes. By the time I walked out of them, it wasn't nothing but bricks laid down. And there's people from New York buying all their houses up here, California, New York. They're not even here. They're not even here. Oh yeah, they're definitely cash. There ain't no mortgages. So you gotta understand, everybody knows this is a military town that's rising too. So the availability is gonna be there, because we're gonna continue to build. And there's gonna continue to be accessible properties, because it's a military town. And this is a retirement town too, whether we wanna say it or not. So we got all the good fixings. And then you got that arena being built, that's it, it's icing on the cake. So everything is gonna move a lot faster, and there's gonna be a lot more commerce, but at the end of the day, it's gonna be a lot more building. So, and then they're redoing that entire hotel too. I think they decided on that in the Riverview. So they're about to redo that entire hotel and turn it into a parking lot, I think. A parking garage, I think. Any other questions for me? I got like 2 more slides for y'all. These are other opportunities. Y'all thought I was done with the hard money. I'm not done. I'm not done with that. We got options. Real estate investment trust, REITs is what I call them. That probably ain't how it's pronounced, but that's what I call it. They allow you to invest in real estate without a physical real estate. They tend to pay high dividends, which makes them a common investment in retirement. Investors who don't need or want the regular income can automatically reinvest those dividends to grow their investment further. Okay, I don't know who that is, I got it in, it just comes out. So, Big Josh got a company that does real estate investment trust. I tell him, man, just take $500 out of my account every week. It might not go toward an actual property, but that concession goes toward 10 other people's. That, us 11, have funded someone. So remember how I was talking about hard money is private and it's a bunch of people's money? It's the same thing. Except I'm putting money into the trust rather than actually, that's why I say it's not physical. Flipping the property. So in hard money, you're using that money, you're flipping it. With this one, you're just investing. So you may think it's redundant, not important, but it depends on who you deal with. If he's popular and his organization's winning, the more I put in, the more I get back. That's what a real estate investment trust is. Wholesaling, listen, I got a lot of people that love and I'm not gonna lie, like I try not to tier things, but like wholesaling to me is step one. Easy to do. Give me all you got. If you say real estate, you're trying to flip, all right, then. If you tell me wholesaling, I'm not judging, I'm just saying, I hope you understand that's step one. And it may be okay for you. That might be just all you want to do. But for me, it's too easy, I get bored quick. So I just got to connect you and her, and I get paid. Okay, bet. She own it, you own it, I just talk nice to you. And from the deal, she pay me or I get the deal, boom, and that's it. Like, and you're not making the maximum. As far as Jatavious is like, I want the max of everything I got my hands in. So if it's real estate, I'm flipping because there's no other way to maximize your money. If I'm not using my money and I'm profiting, tell me one other way that you can do that outside of coming out your own pocket. Which you know you're not gonna make as much money because you're coming out your pocket first. Not the exchange of money, I'm talking profit. You could spend 25 and make 100. I'm okay with making 75, not putting nothing down. Because I can take that 75 and keep doing it. After a while, if I come out of pocket, the expenses change. If I'm dealing with the same company. Oh, I didn't mention this too, with hard money, after you've done so many, they start turning up on you. You know, that company might have been 80 on the ARV, now they 90. Now they went to 100. So there's a real supreme benefit in doing that. But wholesaling is cool. You ain't doing nothing but having conversations. That's all wholesaling is. And if you know the market and you network well, you can be a great wholesaler. There's a million of them here. But in Clarksville, it's a lot easier to not need one because, I don't want to say it's a friendly town, it's not big. So I can ride down one street and see 8 properties. I'm just get out the car and walk to each one. That's faster. So in big cities, New York, it benefits you to deal with a wholesaler if you don't have the time. But in Clarksville, I can go walk down the street and find 10 houses. If somebody's there, okay, cool, or I can pull the address. Remember, you can find all that through public records. That software Do Hard gives you, I can pull anybody's address and see who owns the house. So instead of talking to you because you renting it, and you don't tell me you renting, but I see you come out the house, I'm past you, I'm going straight to Stephanie. Or I'll send her a postcard. Any of y'all seen that happen, like when you lived in a house that you were renting, they send you get them random postcards. We buy houses, and y'all see the little signs? That's what they're doing. Typically, those people are call themselves investors. They won't tell you how they're using the money or what money they're using, but that's the typical name. I'm an investor. They don't give a damn if you know how they get the money or not, they just want to get it. Hard money loans, man. A hard money loan is backed by property and typically offered by non-traditional institutions like investment groups, commercial lenders, or individuals. Backed by property. You can't lose getting one because if you don't sell it quick, they'll say, we'll buy it back and we're going to do what we do. You don't owe nothing. Now you can win if you quit. That's the motivating factor. If you're not, you lose because you don't get nothing. Term lengths for hard money loans are short. So these loans are commonly used to buy, renovate, and sell. I'm going to tell you now, common hard money loan projects, 90 days. We ain't doing no more than 90. Anything outside of 90, they ain't messing with you. You get my boys out there, them brown skin boys out there, they will do their thing in about 30 days. But they gotta pass inspections. City gotta come out, they got the plumbing line backwards, you know, you can't be out there playing. But in all honesty and truthfulness, 90 days. But it's like that even not using hard money. If you talk to somebody that's doing a flip that it's like cosmetic, just needs some new doors, floor and all that, it's gonna be even quicker. So the stuff you see happening outside of new construction, where y'all see people flipping properties either near the hood here, that's what they're doing. Either they're using hard money or they're just already an investor that got the money. They're not looking to, now they may rent. I'm not a rent guy. If I'm near the hood, I'm not renting nothing, because I know I gotta come back deal with roaches, I gotta deal with the hole in the wall, little JoJo done put crayons all on the wall. I'm not paying all this money and I only got a little bit of money to get it right the first time. I'ma sell. It ain't gonna sell for nothing crazy. But I know I'm gonna win because somebody right down the street in the hood just wants to have their own. They ain't moving even far from the hood, but the fact that they have their own and they ain't gotta worry about the next door neighbor smoking weed, they're gonna buy this house. So that's what a lot of them think, and that's why Hoptown's such a prime spot, because when you're there, you wanna go to Cadiz, you wanna go to, not Orangeboro, that's too far. Paducah, that's too far too. Whatever nearby cities y'all got, Cadiz is one for sure that a lot of people are moving out of Hoptown to. So hard money, what you said? Yeah, Princeton too. Yeah, even Russellville. So where there ain't nothing in either one of them cities, but it's peace.
Yeah.
And that's what some black families want. They just want peace. Those are the 3 most common, not the only 3, but these are the 3 most quick. You can get out here today and be a wholesaler. There is no specific title or requirement. You get on Zillow, I'm looking for something to buy, you give me a, hey bro, hey, on Zillow it say this, but I don't already talked to them, they get you 5 less. I don't know that it's not actually 5 less. They said 10 less, you took the extra 5, you reply. See, that's just hustle. But I'm with it either way. You know, it's cheaper than on Zillow. Shoot, let me get that. I like what you like on Zillow. So that's wholesaling. You don't do nothing else, you just connect the dots. The trust stuff is quick. You can leave here and get on Google and do that. Not fun box. Fun REITs or something like that. That's one. I just was one that I was doing. And then hard money, like I said, Do Hard and Longhorn. I think it's Longhorn Investment. Those are the two that I know about. But you can literally Google hard money loans and you can find them within whatever state. Each company is going to have their respective either county they deal with or district. I know Longhorn does Nashville. The closest they do is Nashville. Do Hard don't do Tennessee. They took Tennessee away once COVID hit. And plus, Memphis fucks up a lot for us, man. I'm telling you. Sorry, dog. Memphis it messes up a lot. When it comes to flipping, because of just how the neighborhoods are there. I'm talking about for company. This is a great town to flip in, but for those big companies, because they're used to seeing, like, as far as this state, that city, and Chattanooga, because they're bigger metropolitans, it's just a lot harder for little towns like ours that are getting out of that rural state. Pros, close fast. I told you my guy, he's probably gonna close in about 3 weeks. He was prepped, ready, just waiting on that. He was waiting on that money to come through. The underwriters are less annoying. Man, I'm telling you, you take a deep breath when you read something like that if you've ever bought a home. It's annoying underwriters, man. You at work, you can't even focus on your job because you waiting on them to call and say we're ready to close. You get to hear, man, hey, they said your tax return is upside down, so we need to, like, underwriters is gonna find everything. Your bank statements ain't have, they're looking for every and anything. Personal business credit does not matter. I don't want a person to think that if they shot, like, 300-400, come on, you out here, you're a criminal. You can't be terribly off, but they're not looking to see if you got a 700. They just want to, because the business is the business. The business is the business. As long as you are a business owner, they're gonna ride with you. Most of them will just tell you straight on the phone, I don't wanna know what you do. You got an LLC, and they will ask, are you in good standing? Not, have you done something wrong? When they're talking about good standing, they're talking about with your county, is your taxes caught up, and do you have a certificate of good standing you can give for us? That's all they wanna know. Cons, interest rates, they terrible. In most cases, they're pretty rough. High interest rates. Terms are much shorter, meaning higher down payment or closing costs. So the difference between that is the percentages I was talking about with the ARV and then the rehab. If the rehab ain't 100%, you gotta cover the other percentage that is not. The ARV, if it's not 100%, you gotta cover the other side. So you might end up having to bring 30 to 40 to a project, but the project might make you 150. It'll never be that way if you buy it cash yourself or get a mortgage, because you gotta fix it yourself when you get a mortgage unless you get a rehab. That type that pays for the rehab, where you gotta wait 15 years to save the money to buy it. So either way, those last two options are gonna take more time. Did you know there's minimal requirements to access a hard money loan? The lender assumes all risks, so numbers are inflated, as they should be. Most lenders do not approve of rural area properties. As long as the property is a profitable project, you could close as soon as 7 days. Y'all see that and think, man, we're crazy. No, these are facts. Some of these companies close as fast as 7 to 14 days. Close does not mean the project is finished. Close just means it's yours. We still got to do what we got to do, but as of right now, boom. Because obviously nobody's fixing my home and said, well, you know, there's some bad boys out here. 7 days. Hard money loans do not fund consumers. So the first requirement is to have a business form. All you would need is an LLC. You do not have to have a certain amount of time you've been formed. Hard money loans are business to business loans. I call this the three-way effect. The property is an LLC, the borrower is an LLC, and the lender is an LLC, or whatever particular type, formation, or some form of a business in every case. Some hard money lenders will fund your entire project cost. The entire project cost. Your only responsibility is to bring the closing costs. Seems unreal, huh? That's how it works. Oh, now, big fella. Oh, now. Whoa. Here it is. Okay, I want to buy a house. A couple of questions, but I might have asked that already, just because when I do a project, or do some PowerPoint, it'll be in my head. Do you have a credit score to qualify for the home? Do you know who to reach out to first? See if you qualify for the home. Do you know the difference between a mortgage lender and a real estate agent? Do you know the type of home you want? How many bedrooms, bathrooms, vanities, deck, porch, etc. Refrigerator. There's a lot of women in here, so we know those things. You know how y'all do. Ceiling fans, tile, whatever it is. You know, like as men, we the ones just signing saying, all right. FHA loan or conventional loan? The ones who bought a home in here, who was that again? Right, what you did? You did conventional, right?
I had FHA.
Yeah, FHA. Oh, yeah, that's right. You did the chicken hickory. You did conventional. I know you did conventional. Sorry. You did conventional, right? Yeah, you military. You did conventional. Yeah. What'd you do again? Yeah, I don't know if I got you doing this. Yeah, and the only difference is, you know, down payment system on one, the other one is very scarce. One of them you definitely have to come with money down. That doesn't mean it's worse. It just depends on the type of program you're in. I will say, in my opinion, Navy has some of the best mortgage programs ever. That's just my personal opinion. Navy has some of the best mortgage programs ever. But if you understand interest, because it look good, I'm telling you, you got to be able to accept what they're going to get you on the back end. They have a particular program right now where and I was in it, and I didn't like the home when I really looked at it. It was, what's my boy name here that built them? What is Bill Mays? Yeah, it was Bill Mays. And I didn't like it when I just looked at it. My mama looked at it, she gave me the reel on it. I said, nah. That particular program is no money down. No money down. Interest ugly because they said it. You know what I'm saying? They said it, the interest. But if I'm 20 grand in the good, if that interest ain't calculating the 20 grand in a year or two or whenever I choose to refinance, I'm good anyway. You see what I'm saying? You gotta make your money work for you. Even if you're getting screwed, you gotta find a way to try to fight back. That's what I'm saying. Don't just accept being screwed, fight back a little bit. I'm gonna refinance anyway, I ain't tripping. All right, bet. When the market flip, let's do that. That's why I talk that buy if you're gonna buy, because interest rates high. You know, when you're regurgitating what's being talked about, you're not learning. Well, how do you counter that? Oh, well, just take that hit and then refinance. But do it on the front end. You don't want to be 20, 30, 40, 70,000 in and then refinance, which is still a small amount if you buy a $400,000 home, but you want to be on the front end because the market may flip in 6 months. All right, bet, I'm going to refinance. That's how you did it. You ain't paid but 15 grand anyway. Going through your personal bank for a home loan is always cheaper does not mean the experience will be better. Man, I'm trying to tell you. But the guy at Rocket Mortgage was cool, man. I done put a couple of my homies on Al. His name was Al DeBook. And Al was cool, man. He called me. I'll be cooking, man. What's up, Al? Man, what's going on? Just take this, man. Getting ready to close. And I had 2 sisters at the end, man. It made me feel so good, too. And they were sisters. And I was talking on the phone. Anybody know me when I talk on the phone, I ain't gonna say I have no filter. But like, I'm transparent. I'm like, what's it? Latoya, oh, what's up, girl? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? And the lab girl called me Jasmine. Yeah, you just want, you got the house done. I'm like, what's up, man? Come down and turn up. So it was a beautiful thing to have sisters at the end. Al was cool too. So I say that to say that don't look for the most popular company because you assume you're going to have a great experience. It's the individual. Al was great. I can't do nothing but say good things about Rocket Mortgage. And to be honest, there probably ain't too many bad things because they're the #1 leading mortgage company in the world. Mortgage company and Quicken Loans are the same. That just goes to show you how the people in front of us are still running. They still running. But the number will be, don't believe me? Ask your mortgage lender about yield spread or the interest rate, which can be Googled daily. My cousin did that. Kevin did that. I had somebody hooked up. Sent them to my homegirls, the mortgage lender. Thought everything was good. This is my homie man from the hood, Little T youngest brother, Marquette. I have my boy, I'm talking about a little dude, ain't never been in trouble, man. I love him, man. Real talk, he's been around the worst. Never did bad, never got in trouble. Hooked him up with my mortgage lender. I get a call from him, good dude. Hey man, you know, nothing against her, but right girl, man, she got $100,000 more. I'm hot. I done told you, man, this family. Do right by him. Ain't nobody making out situations like his. And you gonna, so I'm here, I'm talking to him. What's the interest on that? See, I know. See, when you talk to a mortgage lender, they ain't gonna tell you the truth or try to screw you a little bit. They won't say to you, like if you ask them what the interest is, what's the yield spread? When you start talking that talk, special cloth talk, and if they don't know it, they ain't gonna say nothing. If they know it, they gonna try to dodge it. Because you can Google what the interest rate is today for a conventional loan, for FHA loan. So you know anything on top of that, oh, okay, you try to put the Vaseline on me. Yeah, you bought the Vaseline out here. So when he said he got $100,000 more with her, as a person that does credit and taxes, I understood it. Oh, ain't nothing changed. I talked to you last week. How you get 100,000 more with her? Also, the chick over here, which didn't look like him, which is what hurt me the most, don't look like him getting 100,000 more. That means she cool with taking a less of a profit. Ain't no way no mortgage lender can explain that situation to me and think I ain't educated to know what happened here. You talk to her Monday, you talk to her Friday, she got you 100,000 more. That means you wanted more on the back end. So me, I said, you know what? I don't like to assume. My mentor is he owned a mortgage company. I said, I'll tell you what, I'm smart, we get that. Give it to me in layman's terms. I sent my homeboy to her, she got 100,000 more, she got 100,000. What happened? Oh yeah, that's yield spread. That's yield spread. I said, okay, hold on. I said, talk to me in layman's terms. What is yield spread? He said, okay, that's where you take the mortgage. He said, you look at the interest rates that's going today, you find that out, and then you do what's called yield spreads, and you put whatever on top that causes that person to either pay more down or get less of a home. I said, okay, layman's terms, I'm going to say, I'm assuming you're saying she wanted more on her side. Absolutely, Jatavious. Okay, cool. You could have just said that. My mentor. I'm smart, but you could just say that. She wanted more money on the front end. And so that was an amazing thing to learn for me, and that's why I'm telling y'all today, for those who want to buy, half bar or whatever, when you go through someone you've already had dealings with, they're going to make concessions, and you need to understand the education when you don't. Bruh could have missed out on $100,000 just because someone else wanted some more money. I wish they tried to explain to me that was wrong. I really wish. But there's no, how do you explain that? He went to both of y'all the same week. Nothing changed, job didn't change. You didn't take nothing different from him that would have changed the process. So it lets me know somebody was a little more hungry, and I'm not against it. If you saying, I just gotta get mine. Yeah, but this ain't about me, I ain't buying the house. This for a dude that I got love for. That don't know nothing about buying no home, and they ain't never knew nothing about that. And so he said, I'm just going with old girl, that's cool. I mean, I ain't tripping, bro, I fix your credit. I helped him and his wife, bro, I don't care nothing about that part. I just rather see you have a home you want. And it opened my eyes to say, I gotta start educating people more. I'm not a mortgage lender, but they may not like how I'm saying what I'm saying now because it kind of takes, like somebody that knows I fix credit may say, no man, you ain't got to fix credit. Like I said, it's the cow and the milk thing. I know how to milk a cow, but I'm still gonna go to Walmart, I'm still gonna go to Kroger, because it don't take but 5 minutes to go down the aisle and check out. So that's what I'm saying, it's the convenience. Hey bro, go ahead, go with the girl, don't give you 100,000 more, I ain't tripping on, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't really messed up with that situation, I ain't talked to her since, but I ain't messed up with it. But I did prep her. I said, man, take care of him for real. Like, this ain't a normal client for me. Like, I've seen, bro, his whole family dynamic. It's like, bro, like, you take care of him. He was the one that made it out. Still couldn't do it. So I'm like, some people just can't put that to the side. You're going to make money regardless, but damn, like I just said, take care of my boy. And, I mean, you know quick, too. Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? That hurt me, man. Like, bro, come on, man. My brother been through everything. You can't even look out for David. So that's why I was talking about the experience and understanding the difference between going through your bank or a mortgage lender, and they're always going to be, it's just, and I'm not saying expensive, but more. It's always going to be that way because a mortgage lender is getting their money from where? So if you go through the bank, let's just put two and two together and make it make sense. Whether the market's up or down, people will still be buying homes. Don't wait for the perfect time and miss the home you like for being too patient. Refinancing and pulling equity from a home do still exist. I explained this earlier. You buy now when it's expensive, you still got an opportunity to make money. That don't stop nothing. Yeah, you might have bought something that could have been $40,000 less as the market turns, but if you rent it out and you put $200 more on top of what you know you're supposed to charge anyway, because every other home is just as much, now you win again. So sometimes you gotta accept when you take that hit to the chin and you gotta punch them back in the chest. That's all I'm saying. Like nobody else is gonna really, just say it that way. But for me, it's like, it's okay to take it, on the front end, man, I got hit. I know how to fight back. I know how to fight back a little bit. So it's not, ain't that deep. Yeah, I'm gonna wait. Unless you got the excuse like you had, which is a reason. But some people, I'm just gonna wait because market hot right now. You don't know about no market, just repeat what you heard. You ain't looked everywhere, you don't know how to negotiate with the seller, or I'll pay this and that. If you give you know what I'm saying? It's always a way. Always. It may not equate to what you want, but there's wiggle room there. It's up to you to find it. Entrepreneurship, this is the last section right here for me. I'm very emotional about that because obviously as someone that started out working a job and getting more out of you, it's important. Do you trust you? It's a big one. Very big. Do you trust your idea? What's stopping you from earning income solely off your idea? and I was talking to my good brothers back there about this next one. True entrepreneurship isn't about having just having multiple incomes. It's not always just about, I can have a lemonade stand, Coke stand, gummy bear stand, and that's what's up. I'm getting money 3 ways. It's not always about the most, for me, this is my definition, these are my words. It's about being generational, and can you teach someone else how to be an entrepreneur? Maybe that's another word, but for me, that's what I see entrepreneurship is. That may be another word, but for me, it ain't, I'm not an entrepreneur if I can't teach my brother how to do what I'm doing. Anybody can make money. We've seen that with the businesses, drug dealing, whatever. Anybody can just get out and make some money. Your first 3 ideas are normally your best ideas. I live by that now. I got a million of them, but I still feel like my first 3 are always my best. And it turned out that those were the ones that I chose to start businesses with. The taxes, the credit, and then a notary. I don't know why. I was like, I like stamping stuff. Boom, stamp, good. And then it's easy money. 5 minutes, I see a sign, I need boom, stamp, there you go. So, I truly believe that. Those are just my words. Your first 3 ideas are normally your best ideas. If you got 10, just evaluate what you feel is most important to you out of those 10. Know your mind. Know your mind. It's the overall mentality. Overall mentality. Can I change a life without even trying or knowing? When it's effortless. When it's effortless, man, I'm so blessed to be in a spot where most of the people in here that know me have known me for a little while, so I've always been the same way. But I'm selfless. I'll give anything. You know what I mean? And I've always been cool too. I don't think I've been an a-hole to anybody. I've always been pretty cool. I've always been even kill. I'm not a person you really just gonna mess with, but I've always been pretty even kill, man, and just being a sponge. You cannot sell what you do not own. I heard this. It was a billionaire that said it, and then I was recently watching that silly Drink Champs with Irv Gotti and Ja Rule. Dude he's really like lame, but it's cool to hear him talk. So he said that another billionaire white guy told him that, and it just replayed in my memory. Like, damn, that's why they run it. That's why they run it. We still trying to walk and speed walk. That's why they're running. And so when you understand that, my version of saying that, Jatavious' words is, be a producer, not a consumer. Those are my words. Be a producer, not a consumer. Nothing wrong with consuming. You gotta do that to live, whether it's food, whether it's information, whatever. But at some point, to get to that next level, you gotta be a producer. The consumers don't survive without the producer. That's just the facts of life. The producer survives regardless. They understand they have to produce. So somebody, I hope, really catches that. Be your first and last critic, as well as your first and last supporter. Don't nobody love me more than me, outside of my mama, and my kids probably, my wife and everything, but I'm my first and last critic and my first and last supporter. For the people that have the job or have been through situations where a person's miseducated you, or not even miseducated, I don't know why your situation just still rubs me wrong, but just knowing, I guess because I know you so long, I know how sweet you are, but the knowing someone is trying to do something, but if they don't come to you how you want them to come to you, you done dealing with them, and I hate that, man. Like mortgage lenders, in my opinion, and real estate agents, if you ain't ready when you get to them, they done with you. I just like that. And there's some here, and some of the big ones. I ain't gonna talk about them, say their name. It's just, I live a life of genuineness, man. People come to me all the time with terrible credit. It don't make me no difference. I get turned up. Oh, I love it like this. Let's go. I like it. It's bad. It's bad. Let's go though. It's gonna take me about 12 years. No. Let's go. 90 days, 120 days, and I'm on your head while we working too. Hey, I need you to do this. Make sure you do that. When you call, you let me know, to make sure you get that receipt, you get that PDF form, you get that back to me. That's how anybody that's dealt with me knows that. They know that's how I work. So I don't know, it just rubs me wrong when I see people not trying their all to see someone else. I'm not lazy, maybe it's because I'm not lazy. I get up and get it. I don't wanna, oh man, your credit bad, damn, I can't, that ain't no easy money, I gotta charge more than she already wanna pay it. Then I gotta try to actually convince her I'm doing what I said, I'm good. Cause that particular industry I'm in is full of scams, it's full of people not real, it's full of people that don't know their stuff, it's full of people that just want the money. Unfortunately for them, but fortunately for me, I'm genuine enough to where I can just sit down and have conversations with people about their credit all day and won't charge them a penny. Because the information, they're gonna respect me and love me for that, and then they're gonna tell Auntie JoJo, and they're gonna tell Uncle Tyrone, and these are the people that are gonna, that's why my business will never stop. Anybody that's ever dealt with me always refers me to someone, and I love that because I know if I'm genuine to the original person, they're gonna spread that to the next one. He gonna rock with you. I ain't even gonna tell you what he gonna do, I just know that's my dude. Then I love to hear it because that's how I made my name. So for me, just knowing that I'm my own critic too. So I know like, damn, I only talked to her twice this week. Even though that might be enough for the client. I gotta hit her 4 more times. Let her know, hey, I'm on your head. You ain't just paying for a particular service, you're paying for a relationship. And when it's done, the job is done, we still got the relationship. And that applies to some of y'all sitting here right now. So I never stopped not talking to y'all, or I'm always going to answer calls and texts. And then I'm my first and last supporter, man. I just, and then I'm thankful for the ones I've dealt with in here, even if it's not just credit. Any service I provided, I always make sure I give. Like this, anybody, I do taxes, y'all know I give away shirts, Xbox, games, money, because I know if I got it to give, that's how I'm a leader. I don't hold on to nothing. And I'm gonna do more next year for those who taxes. I do a little more next year. Probably do a little raffle or something, a little giveaway. You need yours done right now?
I'm trying to see how much you charge to do taxes.
How much you need me to charge? You hear me, Sean? How much you need me to charge? No, I'll get you taken care of. I'll get you taken care of. I got a marketing thing with prices, but man, I own what I do. You see that and don't like it, that's just you not liking it. I'm still be happy. But most of the business, there's people in here that work with me, like, they wouldn't care what I charge for them. It's the experience. You know what I'm saying? In our community, that's a big thing because I could be cheap, but if I'm an asshole, you ain't gonna deal with me no way. If I'm the best thing smoking and I'm somewhat affordable, you're gonna deal with me. And then when you see like how I do business and just be wanting to educate and know the information, you sold. Ain't nothing worse than leaning on faith and then finding out you know more than them. It's a scary feeling. Especially in the industry you don't work in. So, you get with me, first time client type discount, we're razzle with the dazzle, don't worry about that. My own personal resources, boom, before y'all get out of here. Mr. Trade Line Guy, that's me, okay? I'm the Mr. Trade Line Guy. Now, I can't click on that link, I'll probably pull it up in a little bit, but I got a picture of it so y'all can see what it looks like. Anybody know what trade lines are? What are they? I was talking, oh, you said yeah, but I'm not. I'm talking to you, I'm talking to her. Back there, yeah, I'm talking to you. What's a trade line? You don't know? It's just a line of credit. So people try to associate authorized ones with overall. Trade lines are just lines of credit. An authorized trade line, this is why I said we was gonna talk about. The ones running, kid turns 7, they done drop the knowledge on them. They don't care if they want to hear it or not. In our community, we actually care if our kids want to hear something or not. They ain't worried about that. Turn 7, drop the knowledge on them. We're gonna check back in at 10, see what you got, see if you retain that. Oh, okay, you got that still. Okay, bet I tell you what, in 2 years, I'm gonna do something to help you. This is actually happening for them. They have these kind of, for us, it's just, I want to do it because they help them. You ain't explaining nothing to them though. I'm a generational educator. Before I do anything with my sons, I'm going to explain what I'm doing. In our community, it was the whooping. That's what happened before the whooping. But we ain't benefit from the actual physical act. I'm talking about benefiting from something generation to generation. So before I do anything, I'll explain what I'm doing and how they can benefit. That's what we need to get. So they checked in at 10, the kid remembered. All right, 12, I'm gonna put you on these credit cards, right? And then we're gonna start building what's called your credit. If I told you at 7, yeah, I remember that. Okay, I bet. So 2 years, I'm gonna check back in. Boom! You got a 6-year head start, fast forward. Boom. 6-year head start. Even through that 6 years, I added you on every card I got. We understand the agreement we had. Do good in school, that's a reward. You don't see the actual benefit from it as a kid until you get older. So sometimes you gotta speak that fruition in. And then so boom, 6 years, I put them on 10 cards. Boom, my kid's 18th birthday. Took them to the lot. That's their card. Ain't no cosign. If I have to, it's because of lack of history that's not theirs. Not lack of history at all. Because they still got them trades on there that you put them on. Y'all understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? So it's no different than someone putting 10 trade lines on their regular credit and not having the primary history. That's why I say trade lines are lines of credit. Authorized trade lines are what you're borrowing. Yeah, so you bring them to the lot, they got an 8,000 credit score. They're gonna make them pay something down because they're 18, they ain't never had an auto loan, but the interest gonna be better. This just comes down to which one's more important, or what's important. That interest that would have been 25 because they're young is now 10. 10 ain't good. People in front of us, they like 2 or better. We'll get there. But at 18, it's a beautiful place to be. You ain't messed up with code. You know how we do in our community with cosigning. We had refrigerators on our name at 6. We understand how it works. We know some of our parents and grandparents wasn't living right. But we know now not only how to help, but to explain what we're doing. So in reverse, when they have a family, they can not only explain, but continue to do the same. You would hope, the same thing. So at 18, boom, they're all right. Off to college, they will. I'm just checking in to make sure you're making the payments on time. Because if you had the cosign, I'm worried about my credit too. You know what I'm saying? Boom, all right, well, you paid that all early. In college, you have to work it. All right, and the next one yours then. All right, cool. I'm still calling and checking in because you got to take care of your baby. You get older, but you still got to check in. But if you gave them that from 7 up till now, it's just a check-in. That's what they own. That's what they do. So, and I'm saying it like that because it is that simple. You give it to them early and make sure it's graded. All right, yeah, I'm on time. I see my score, 827 now, okay. And as a community, we've always had that, I'm gonna work hard so that the ones that come after me can take care of it. The problem, where the missing gap for us is the information. We never gave it, or the ones before us. You know, most of us, I'm not saying nothing about nobody's parents, but most of us in here are like, bro, all our parents did the same thing. Don't do this, don't do that. They didn't give you no information now. Because at their time, it wasn't taught in school and we didn't learn it, but that doesn't mean it wasn't out here to learn. So this is the step you take. All right, this is what I'm gonna do. Boom, 18, boom, 22, you need a boom. Fresh out of college, you worried about the debt, but you got a whole business owner on your hands. Now they just went to school for the literary works. I just wanted to learn something. That's if you choose to do it that way as a parent. Because now it's not even mandatory. At 18, they could take that LLC thing idea or come see me, because maybe at that time I'm still doing them, and then in 2 to 3 years, your child will be a millionaire. This is what they're doing. Well, outside of handling the businesses. But this is what they're doing. And so that's that simple. You don't have to go to college because you got the information. You want to go learn something, get a degree, hang on the wall, that's fine, but I can give you a business plan right now. That's for the teenager, for the ones that have teenagers. Those conversations get harder and harder as they get older because they care less about it. But what happens is they get out here in the real world and see that paying bills isn't fun. And they see being broke until the next paycheck isn't fun. And they realize, well, what you were saying I could have paid attention to. But this is the conversations they're having. They're not asking their children if they want to have it. They're going to make sure they have it. That's what we got to get to. You know what I'm saying? Instead of, I'm going to change through my card. And then you mess around, don't check the mail, they got a whole other card. Uh-oh. They ain't even got no profile yet, started with your credit going shot. So this is, you see how just even being an educating person saves you, and then it changes another generation. I'll take a look at that link once we do the screenshot. I am the only individual in the state of Tennessee. This is true, all facts, no cap in the rap. That's recording me? No cap in the rap, dog. No cap in the rap. I'm the only individual in the state of Tennessee that offers aged lease lines and can place them on business credit profiles. What I'm saying is this. Man, I love the tricks I do. So you got a business, you got an LLC. Boom. Started it. It's been 2 years. Built the credit up for it. It's looking good. I'm like, hey, you trying to buy a commercial property? Oh, for real? I got a lease line for you. Now I'm gonna tell you something. Y'all gonna see that chart. Ain't nobody in here gonna like the prices on it because you don't understand it yet. Nobody will. If I showed you what somebody else that does this, that maybe across the country that does it, their prices, then you'll love it. Because they understand where they are. I'm in Clarksville, won't nobody buy the stuff I'm about to show you. Well, a couple have, but most people won't. Aside from it being money, they just don't understand what I'm saying. Until it happened, then it's, oh, man, appreciate that, bro. But I explained it top to bottom, and it's a trust thing. I trust you, but it's just, Christmas, you know what I'm saying? All right. Well, then again, here's my question. What's more important? Getting that kid what they want at Christmas or building a future for them? Or can you see that happening? That's the first step. Can you see it? This is my authorized, this is screenshots, right? So what I'm gonna show you here, right? Here's my package letter. It helps when you go on my site for me to know which one you ordered. I actually don't even control that. I have some other people do that for me. I love that. This is the price. So what I'm saying is this. Somebody comes to me with their personal credit. Hey man, I just need a 750 so I can get this auto loan. Dude in the inside, that's my homie. He just told me right now I'm at a 720. I need 30 points guaranteed. Man, you done came to the right spot, dog. You came to the right spot, homeboy. Got you. Don't worry about it. Now, before I give them one of these, because I'm a person that's genuine and don't beat people, let me look at your credit to see what would help you best. If you hear anybody talking about these trade lines, authorized trade lines, and they selling it to you and tell you it's going to help and all that, one or two things. Either they got one that's super old enough for you to benefit, or they beating you. Ain't no other option. There's people out here that do the same thing I do, and they will beat you and will not tell you what I'm telling you. So for instance, take this one, 425, don't need no ID or social security card, that's for me and my record keeper. Authorized, evolving, Best Buy, 4,000, 5 years old, right? You come to me with no credit history. That line right there is gonna boost you. You might have dashes because your credit is completely blank. This line is gonna give you a 700 at least. How I know that? Because it's 5 years old, it's a $4,000 limit, not just because of that, but because you had no history. Let me show y'all a trick of how y'all can make money. I'm doing this with this brother right here, and eventually I'll get him, he's trying to get, he do the cheesecake. So, like I said, once he get his business rolling, he boom these cheesecakes, he'll get him where he need to be. But I sell these lines. This is a stream of income for me. These lines you see are not mine. Me and this brother and a couple of young brothers of mine, I'm creating another site where they're all mine. I tell you that, y'all that straight up because you won't know the difference when you buy it from me, no way. So, because the price is going to be cheap on you, you're going to see it's a cheap price. Oh, I'm going to fuck with it. Really good. So, the Best Buy. If you come to me with no credit, I'm going to say that one's good. And as it pertains to that screenshot, that will be the best one. I don't care about the limits because I know the age is what's going to matter more to that person with no history. But if you come to me with history and you say, man, listen, dude told me he can get Capital One and give me this bill. I just got to get him Capital One trade. Oh, okay, cool. I got two options. See how that works? This is a finesse. The people running in front of us, when I mentioned them putting their kids on, this is the same thing they're doing, they're just not selling it. Now they explain it. Imagine explaining this to your kid at 10, and then they turn 18 and do the same thing you did for 20 years. This is how I make streaming income for me. I don't push it a lot, because I'll be busy, but it's streaming income. I'm about to start pushing it though. Better believe that. I'm about to start pushing it. And so, I'm no different than you. I'm real enough to say, you do the same thing. How do I do it? You take, all right, we'll get 10 credit cards. Let them get a hold. You got two options. Sell them yourself or come to me and I'm gonna get my piece off top. How you gonna do it? It sounds good to say I'm gonna do it myself till you realize how much work it is. So y'all see this nice little screenshot. The site is pretty, I ain't gonna lie. Hopefully you got the link. My site is nice looking. The other one's gonna be even better. But convenience. Plus, if you on your own, you might make 5. I'm gonna give you 350 when you come to me. I'm still gonna sell it for 5. I'm just taking 150. I'm gonna rock with you. So I hope I'm not talking too fast because what you see is what you can do. Some of y'all sitting in here don't know how you're gonna leave your job, and I'm showing you right now. I'm showing you right now. So it's like, you gotta, it's just, I'm telling you, like, what you see, I just live a different life. What y'all see is not what you think. That's just what it is. It's not what you think. Doesn't mean it's not real. Like anybody, you could be a street dude, don't get whatever, it don't matter who I show this to. If you know I know it, you're gonna trust what I'm saying and realize that I've been hustling backwards. So I can take a homeless man off the street with a 700 credit score and introduce this to him. Not buying it, but he do this with his credit. Man, you got a 700, we're gonna apply for 5 cards. All right? Each spot it's this much. And I got 20 people I know right now. I just need 15. Now I got 20. For sure. Yeah, they can benefit from this. They ain't got no credit. All 15 of them, I ain't got no credit. Okay, somebody in here, I'm good at math, but I'm off right now at about 3 o'clock. Somebody tell me what that is times 15. This number.
About 60. About 6.
6 G, 6, 7. Okay. I was guessing, but all right, so he's got a potential 6 or 7K profit. If it's 15 people in here, he put each one of y'all on one of them cards. Because most cards, you have 3 spots at least. I said at least. He might have a card where he has 7 spots. He got 5 cards. I got 35 people. So you just double what I just said. Now here's the part that sells people. That 6 or 7 G's he make off of 15 that's in here, he gonna do it 6 times in a year. So who in here got a 40K job that they work at? I mean, I don't want to get y'all bit, so ain't all y'all broke? God damn. I mean, what, y'all sleep? I mean, or y'all don't want me to know y'all business. I know what you make, we talk. I'm just saying, I know y'all sleep. I ain't gonna leave y'all alone. Y'all over there sleep.
I
Y'all
thought you
sleep.
meant just like 40K. I thought you meant just like 40K.
No, I'm just saying, who make 40K?
40K or better.
Yeah, well, or better, it don't matter, because the example changes either way. All right, so that's what that is. So you know if you work 365 days, but it's a calendar year, but you don't work it, you just do that. On the side, maybe I'm not telling nobody here to quit or whatever. I'm speaking facts though, like me and bro about to, we link, it's over with. I'm already popular enough doing credit that this stays booked. Because people not only trust me with the repair, they understand what this part does. This ain't got nothing to do with repairing. I can give everybody in here one of my own trade lines. I put y'all, every last one of y'all on one of my own credit cards to score more. Not because mine is good, but because I can look at your report and say, okay, bruh needs 10 years. He needs 6 years. Okay, I got a car for him, got a car for her, 3 years. So all you do is sell the spot. And if I got at least 3, all you do is take this and multiply it by 3, and then multiply by how many cars you got. The people in front of us, they've been doing this. It's old. It's old news. I'm just giving it to you because I'm open. Because ain't nobody gonna out hustle me. So I'm gonna give it to you.
And that's a guarantee because you got.
You know what I mean? Ain't no. This is legal. It's called piggybacking. So now you done went from training your kid on what you're gonna do to help them. Now you done show them how to become an enterprise. That's what I'm showing you today. Somebody can leave here, they got decent credit. I'm gonna get some credit cards. How did you tell you this? All right, bet. Me and you gonna talk. I'm gonna give you 400 for that spot. I don't care what you want. Just what I'm gonna get you. I ain't tripping on that. You ain't did nothing to get it. Ain't nothing but trap. That's what it is to me. It's trapping. It's trapping. So that's what it is. You come holler at me, I set that up. Boom, it ain't nothing but, hey, man, I'll keep your number, man. Take them and add somebody. Take them off. So most banks don't like to see people getting added and taken off. So that's why I said 6 times. If you want to get freaky with it, you do this, 6, 7, multiply that by how many people, multiply it by 12. I got people in my circle, my network, they make $100,000 a year doing this, man. That's all they do. Do nothing else. So I'm just speaking facts though. I'm not, y'all, I hope y'all don't think I'm like gloating, bragging. No, this is what they're doing. I'm talking about them. I'm just one that does what they're doing. And showing you how you can start doing it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to see you somebody. I don't want you to go down the street and ask him. I'm showing it to you. This is just a screenshot. I got over 250 lines like that on their website. And then when I'm creating with my homeboys, that ain't nothing for them. You know, I put them in the game. So they already in the game. I'm just showing this to y'all, so y'all can eventually get in the game. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, it's beneficial to deal with someone that has a name in the credit game. You can't. None of y'all can just get out here and say I got authorized trade line because they're gonna know you don't know what the hell you're talking about. And you don't know how to read the report and say this one's the best. I do that. Now, what I said was, you get this for this spot. Most of y'all ain't gonna turn down $300-400 for doing nothing.
No, sir.
Because you don't make that in a day. That's just what the facts are. If you make 40K, you're not making no $300 a day. So, this is easy math. Easy math. It's easy math, and nothing stops anyone from doing something like this. And what you do when people come to me, they help my inventory. So if I got, me and my homeboys only got but 60 cars, which is a lot. I got 100 now, and then I'll stop it at some point. All right, everybody can't get money now. You know what I mean? Now, if I blow, I start doing TikTok and all that, because I really like being just local just because I got too many phones. And so now if I just get out there, I got 1,000 people calling me. You look up, man, I made $1,000 this month just doing trade line. Hold on now. Hold on.
you.